right, the DC Fandome went down this weekend. Did you check it out? I did, kind of, a little, bits and pieces. It was fun. Let's break down the highlights. Welcome to the newest episode of SDW.
Super Dario World!
All right, hopefully you guys had a fun weekend. It was a hot one. It was brutal. I just came down from El Cajon. I was working. It's way too hot, man. It's way too hot. It reminds me of the King of the Hill episode when they get out of Phoenix. Well, when Bobby gets out of the car, it's like, we're not supposed to live in this heat. This is a testament to man's arrogance. This city is a monument to man's arrogance, or something like that. I don't know. I don't care about Bobby that much. But anyway, hope you had a fun weekend. If you guys followed along, we had kind of a big event this weekend. But before I get into that, let me just give you a quick reminder that any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Also, I'm trying to live stream every day, Monday through Friday. Like I said, Mondays it's usually a little bit later, but the rest of the week I'm aiming for at least 7 p.m. Friday might be a little bit earlier because I got to get the hell out of here on Friday. But we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I usually played by ear. Like last Friday, I didn't do anything. Actually, last Friday, it was one of those days where I just started playing. I started playing a video game. It's like, okay, I have an hour to kill, and so I'm just gonna play a game for an hour, and then I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go work out, and then I started playing. 14 hours later, I got dinner. It was just one of those days. Once you're in it, and you just can't stop. But yeah, Monday through Friday, I'm live streaming. So join me if you want to have any questions or just hang out. Last Thursday, the last episode I hung out with my kid brother. If you want to check it out, we played a trivia game, and every single time he got a question wrong, he had to take a shot. It was a lot of fun for me, especially because it turns out that he's terrible at movies. Like, he's terrible at movie trivia. It wasn't exactly trivia. It was just I played a movie clip, and he had to figure out which movie that came from. Turns out he's not that great. Turns out his ear kind of sucks. And so that was... obviously, it was a lot of fun for me, but I guess it wasn't a lot of fun for him. But anyway, I digress. Let's get into the big event from this weekend. Let's get into the DC Fandome. So, for those of you who don't know, basically the DC Fandome was Comic-Con for DC at home. So, DC made an event. I talked about this earlier in an earlier podcast, but basically DC made an event where they're going to release a whole bunch of news and trailers and teasers and announcements for every single one of their titles, their upcoming titles and all that stuff, right? Great stuff. Honestly, it was great. This was pretty much everything that Comic-Con should have been. I mean, DC has a particular advantage because it's since it's all under one banner, the DC banner, you could have a little bit more control. You could have a little bit more organization. Also, I mean, they have film studios, so they can add a little bit more production value to the whole thing. But so overall, it was a better event, and they had a lot of material to show. It ended up being 2 days, and according to the website, all the videos right now, you can find the trailers and stuff, but the website is closed. I believe they will open it back up in about 20 days. Not 100% sure about that, but there's a timer on the website if you go to DC Fandome, and you'll check it out if you want to go through everything. Honestly, it was fun. It was a fun experience, and now a lot of people are asking, like, is DC now going to be leaving Comic-Con? Is that a possibility? Because DC didn't really show much at this year's Comic-Con, and like I said, this encompassed everything. It even had all the CW shows. It had all the animated shows. It had comics. It had creators. It had the fans area where some of the celebrities and creators were just commenting on all the fan art and stuff like that. So it was like I said, it was honestly was pretty cool experience overall for the fans. But is this going to take over Comic-Con? I doubt it, and I really don't think DC wants to separate from Comic-Con. I get it. It's a concern, especially for people who live here in San Diego, people like me. And our local economy depends a lot on Comic-Con, but I don't think it's going to be one of those things. Like, let's say, mainly because it exposes people who may not be one of your fans to your stuff. That's the beauty about Comic-Con. Let's say, for example, Comic-Con is only DC and Marvel. Let's just say that, for example. And so if you're DC and you separate and you do your event, then all those Marvel fans are not going to get a chance to see your stuff and get excited about it, and they're not going to be exposed to your work. You want to be where Comic-Con is the greatest gathering of your market, pretty much. Like that's the people who go to Comic-Con are your market, and so it's having something to show at Comic-Con gets people there, your market, excited, and you expose people from your market to your work. So I don't see DC separating. I feel like Sony leaving E3 was a really bad idea, and unfortunately this year we didn't really get to see them regret it, but I think they will in the future. So overall, like I said, I think Comic-Con is pretty much safe. Now then again, nothing is ever guaranteed in life, but yeah, I think overall it would be I was about to say it would be a really dumb idea for them to do that, and oops, I was trying to check out something here. It would be a really dumb idea for them to do that, but DC has done dumb stuff in the past, so I guess I understand why people could be skeptical. I'm not that skeptical. I'm a little bit more sanguine about the whole thing, and I really do think that for the industry in general, and particularly for DC, because Disney owns so many properties right now, and I mean Disney owns Marvel, Disney owns Disney, they own Fox, they own a whole bunch of properties. I could understand them maybe wanting to get away and do their own thing, but DC doesn't have as many properties. Warner Brothers doesn't have as many properties as Disney does. So honestly, I think it would be a really dumb idea for them to separate, but you never know. Like, people do dumb stuff. It's a guaranteed of life that humans are going to do stupid things. So let's get into it. We had I believe it was 7, maybe 8 major announcements, and I wish I could go through the whole thing, but I can't because I'm tired, honestly. I want to go take a really cold shower. But let's start with the less exciting one, because we didn't really get to see much, and I'm talking about The Rock's, Dwayne Johnson's first look at Black Adam. Now, for those of you who don't know who Black Adam is, basically he started off as the nemesis for Shazam, Captain Marvel, it's not Captain Marvel, it's his name's Shazam. It's very confusing, but people call him Shazam. Anyway, and now he's just kind of an anti-hero figure. Basically, watch the trailer where they show this, and The Rock kind of breaks down who he is and his story. He's interesting. I'll be honest with you, I haven't really followed him that much because I have issues with the superheroes whose powers come from magic. I have issues, but I mean, I'm a fan of The Rock, and if they're trying to go with an angle that's similar to Shazam was a really funny movie, and if they're trying to stay in that lane, like also Aquaman was very funny, and Shazam, they were both very cheesy. So if they want to stay in that lane with The Rock, I think it would be really, really good. Also, The Rock has been trying to make this movie happen for a very long time, and the artwork looks okay. So, all right, I'll give it to him. I'm not exactly sure how this is going to mash up with the rest of the DCCU or with Shazam, but I mean, I'll wait and see. Because like I said, we didn't see enough. We didn't get to see the trailer. It's just they announced they're finally confirming it. Yes, it will happen. Here's artwork. We kind of just need to be able to shoot it. So, all right, good thing there. Let's move on. And this was actually pretty an interesting one. Suicide Squad killed the Justice League. And so this is a video game. It came out from Rocksteady. Rocksteady is the studio that created the Arkham series, which is a great video game. I think right now there's a special on it. If you go to the DC Fandome shop, you can get the whole Arkham series for like $10 or something. I highly recommend it. It's great. It's one of the more fun video game franchises out there. And so more funner. And basically, here you go. They're gonna do. I'm not exactly sure what they're gonna do, but the main character is gonna be the Suicide Squad. You got Deadshot here, King Shark, Harley Quinn, and Captain Boomerang. Basically, honestly, it looked pretty funny. The trailer was pretty funny, and it kind of gives you the attitude that these villains are supposed to have. Like Harley Quinn just saying like "fuck off, Amanda Waller." I'm doing the mission, stuff like that. And then you have an epic villain. First, I think the villain is Brainiac, or it's gonna be Brainiac. But his horsemen are going to be the Justice League. And so, I talked about this before. Superman as a villain is great. He's a great villain because he's so fucking powerful, and it's not fucking fair to fight him. So the Suicide Squad, who are a bunch of misfits, kind of losers, trying to take down the Justice League, That sounds like fun to me. I don't know if it sounds like fun to you, but it sounds like fun to me. And it's from a studio that's made games with great gameplay. So I think it could be fun, and I'm really looking forward to playing it. Unfortunately, I think it's coming out in 2022, but oh well, what can you do? You have to wait. Sticking with the Suicide Squad, we finally got a first look at the roll call for James Gunn's Suicide Squad. I'm not sure what. Well, it's the Suicide Squad. Now, I'll show you here the video of the roll call. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to do it or not, but I'm gonna do it anyway. What I like about this here is that the cast is huge. All right, you got like 20. Let me see about here. Yeah, every single one of these is going to be a character, and you got like 20 people there, which means this was the thing that was missing from the first. Well, the first Suicide Squad has a lot of issues, but one of the things that was missing is more people dying. So if you're making a movie called The Suicide Squad, you better have a lot of the characters die. All right, you gotta kill them off. In the first one, I think they had like 7 and only 3 died, which was stupid. Here, you got 20. So at least half of them are going to get it. And it's a fun little game to be like, ooh, this one's going to make it. No, this one's not. This one's going to make it. This one's not. And the cast is great. Like, as you see right now, you got Margot Robbie. You got Idris Elba. You got my boy Nathan Fillion's going to show up there at one point. You got King Shark, who apparently is not... who nobody's... he's not acting. You got one of the Doctor Who's in there. I forget his name. Oh, there you go. Peter Capaldi. So... it's fun. I saw the trailer of them making a little bit of it. It looks like they're actually having fun. Oh, John Cena's in there too. Pete Davidson. I don't know what Pete Davidson is doing. I don't know if he's actually a good actor, but whatever. I haven't seen his movie yet. But anyway, what was I saying? I'm pretty sure Nathan Fillion's gonna get it. I don't know why. I feel sad, but I'm pretty sure that Nathan Fillion's gonna get it. Anyway, so what was I even saying? Yeah. All right. So it looked fun. It looked like the production they're actually investing money into it. If James Gunn said that this is the biggest movie he's ever made, and he's made he's made the 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies, which were epic, which were honestly to me they're among my favorite movies in the MCU. So if he's excited and it looks like they're giving him free reign to use his dark humor, and he's got a massive cast of characters that are gonna get it. Honestly, what more do you want? Like, I'm reticent. I don't want to be excited about this movie. Honestly, I don't, because the first one really disappointed me. I thought it was gonna be the best movie of that year, and it let me down. It's one of the worst things I've ever seen. But I honestly am getting excited because it's James Gunn, and I trust in James Gunn, at least for now. So we'll see. I've been burned before, but as of right now, I like the direction that the Suicide Squad's going. So we'll see. I like the video game. I like how it looks, and I'm liking the movie. So good things there. So far, all good things DC. Next, we got Gotham Knights. Now this is a video game that is how can I explain it? It's going to be an open world role-playing game where, and they tell you this in the trailer, Bruce Wayne's dead, and so four of the Gotham Knights have to take over the city or protect the city, and that means that you are going to be able to play as Red Hood, Robin. This is Tim Drake Robin. I had to look that up. I didn't know if it was going to be Damian Wayne or Tim Drake, but it's Tim Drake, Batgirl, and Nightwing. And so you're going to play as one of those 4 characters or all 4, and you're going to protect Gotham City. It's an open world. So honestly, it sounds like a lot of fun, and I saw the trailer. The trailer looks really good. It looks a lot like the Arkham series because it's created by one of the Warner Studios who worked on they worked on the Arkham series. They're not Rocksteady. They didn't make it, but they did some of the DLCs and they worked up with them. And so now I guess DC was like, all right, well, we're gonna do our own thing, kind of based on your work. So I'm guessing that's what it's gonna look like. It looks like fun. We've been trying to figure out which character's gonna do what thing. Like if I have to guess, I'm gonna assume that Batgirl's gonna be the stealth because she's she's not the strongest, so she has to use strategy to take enemies down. Who we got here? Nightwing. He's probably going to be like the athletic one. He's probably going to be like the average one. Tim Drake's the techie guy, so he's probably gonna win with tech. And Red Hood, he's probably going to be the brawler, he actually uses guns, so he might just be the long distance shooter. Who knows? But honestly, it's fun. All four characters are extremely different, and just the premise is really good. Batman's dead. Gotham is in chaos. You're gonna have to be one of the 4 characters in the B team trying to save Gotham. It looks pretty good, honestly. And next, let's move on. Let's stick kind of still in the Batman world. And this was announced before the DC Fandome, but they released artwork for it. And I'm talking about the Flash's new movie. Now, there's been a lot of talk and a lot of rumors and a lot of news coming out of this movie lately. Mainly because we didn't know if it was going to get made or not. We didn't know if there was going to actually be a Flash movie because, again, the Justice League was such a mess that we didn't know what the hell was going to happen with the DCCU afterwards. Supposedly, they wanted to base it on a storyline called Flashpoint Paradox. In this storyline, honestly, I have no idea how it's going to work for the DCCU because they made announcements for Batman. And if you see this clip, you can actually see Batman back here. But it's not the Bruce Wayne that we know from the Justice League. This is Michael Keaton Batman. And it's confirmed that Michael Keaton will make an appearance in the Flash movie. It's also confirmed that Ben Affleck will make an appearance in the Flash movie. Why? Well, kind of let me explain. So, Flashpoint is a weird movie. Actually, you can see the animated movie. I believe it's on Netflix. It's honestly, it's one of my favorite DC movies out there. Basically, the Flash wakes up in an alternate reality, and nobody remembers what the hell happened except him. And so there's a lot of things that are majorly different. A few things are slightly different, but mostly the big difference is that he doesn't have any powers. Bruce Wayne is not Batman. It's actually Thomas Wayne, his father, because the whole thing about Batman that he sees his parents get killed and so he becomes Batman. Well, here Bruce Wayne gets killed and so Thomas Wayne becomes Batman, and his wife Martha Wayne kind of loses her mind and she becomes the Joker. Which is a great storyline. Superman doesn't land on Kansas; he lands on Metropolis. Wonder Woman and Aquaman are kind of in the middle of a war between each other and they're destroying the world. It's a great movie. I highly recommend it. It's a great storyline. So how are they going to take all that and adapt it to the Flash movie? And what the hell does Michael Keaton have to do with anything? And now, Ben Affleck making an appearance makes sense because in Flashpoint, if you're going to show a different world, you have to show the normal world first. So there's a normal Batman, and then there's the alternate world Batman. I'm guessing in this one, Batfleck has to make an appearance because that will be the normal world for Barry Allen. And then Michael Keaton might be the other world Batman. Maybe he's older. Maybe I don't know. Honestly, I have no idea how this is gonna work because they didn't say that he was gonna play Thomas Wayne. They said that he was gonna be playing Bruce Wayne. So it's confusing. I'm guessing they're gonna do something with it. Based on the crossover from Crisis on Infinite Earths, the CW, they did good stuff, and Ezra Miller actually appeared in there. It looks like they kind of like DC's getting their shit together, kind of, just a little bit. I'll talk about a movie that concerns me about that in a minute, but yeah, confirmed. Two Batmans are going to be in the Flash movie, and there will be a Flash movie. At least that's what they're saying, and this is how his new suit's going to look. On the Justice League, he kind of has an armor. Here, it looks like he's going to be more of the spandex suit. So we'll see. We'll see how that all works out, and we'll probably get more info eventually. Moving on to the Batman. Now, this is the Robert Pattinson Batman. If you guys have seen the trailer, I recommend you see it. I am honestly torn on it because there's a lot of things that look really cool from it. A lot of things. I like the dark style. I like that it looks kind of realistic and really, really gritty, really dark. But there's a lot of things that really threw me off, like Batman just walking around in a well-lit room surrounded with cops. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. I thought, you're not going to correct me, but I thought that this movie was going to be based on Batman Year One, which is when he just started, which is when the cops don't like him because he's a vigilante and they think he's just a crazy person. So, honestly, I'm very confused. I'm very confused. Why is he walking around in a room full of cops like it's nothing? It looks really... Think of the Christopher Nolan movies. Batman is almost like a mythical creature that just shows up and leaves. And you're not sure how he got there. He's a ninja. He moves around the shadows. It's really weird to see him walking around with like army boots in a well-lit room. And that might just be me. It might make sense in the context of the movie, but it really threw me off. again, the army boots kind of make sense, I guess, if he's just starting. But the whole cops being like, hey, check out this evidence, doesn't. It's weird. Like I said, I'm very torn because there were really good things or bad things. We saw a lot of villains in there. We saw the Riddler, or at least we saw Commissioner Gordon reading a riddle, which I'm guessing is the Riddler. Then we saw a dude doing the whole something with tape and killing people, which it could be Hush. It could be a reference to Hush. I don't know. We also saw a Falcone there. I'm pretty sure it was Falcone. We saw Catwoman. And, dude, Colin Farrell as Penguin is unrecognizable. Honestly, I had to look it up because he's there for a second, and you're like, that's fucking Colin Farrell. Look it up. I'm going to put the picture up right now. Look. Check that out. That's Colin Farrell. That's Colin Farrell right there. It's insane. The makeup job they did, or at least that's what the internet's saying. So I can see it a little bit, but it's wild. Like if that really is Colin Farrell, the makeup job in this movie is fantastic. Holy crap. Honestly. So, like I said, a lot of villains in there. I was also a little bit thrown off, and this might just be me being a bit too nitpicky, but we saw him in a room, like in a cell, surrounded with cops, well lit. What the hell is going on? Why is brand new Batman so chummy with the cops? And why is he like in a cell, shoving a cop, and nobody's arresting him? He's a criminal. Batman is a criminal. He's a vigilante. Also, I feel like too much of his face is exposed. Like, check out here. Like, that's prime real estate for punching. There's too much of his jaws exposed for like villains to try to get him in the mouth or to shoot him. So I have issues with a lot of things. Like some things look really cool, some things just look weird. And the scene where he beats up I have no idea who he beats up, but he beats up a dude. It's brutal. So I like that it's brutal, but at the same time it's like that's not a Batman beating. Batman is just, I disable you very quickly. He's like a knockout artist. Like, boom, boom, down. And you've got a whole bunch of broken bones. Here, it takes him like 5 to 10 punches to actually take down a guy. And then he actually keeps hitting him on the ground. That's not a Batman move, okay? Batman's not the guy who just keeps wailing on you in the ground. So, again, I'm torn. Because this is clearly a different Batman. It's going to be a different Batman experience, which is good. How good it's going to be, I don't know. The whole vengeance thing, I don't know how I feel about it. But we're seeing it out of context. Out of context, things look really weird. In the movie, it might make perfect sense. It might be like the greatest line ever. I don't know. Emo Robert Pattinson is also big. Robert Pattinson may be too good of an actor for this. I think it might be the same issue that I had with Tom Hardy as Venom. He took it too seriously. He acted a little bit too well for this type of movie. It's like you need to tone it down a little. Also, them kind of making Bruce Wayne a little bit more emo is weird. Honestly, the way that he was acting, or at least in what I saw, he'd make a better Jason Todd. Honestly, I think Robert Pattinson would have made a better Jason Todd, but I mean, who knows? Who knows what the hell is going to happen? Like I said, everything that we've seen is out of context. They've only shot like 30% of the movie. They're barely starting to shoot again. And so we still have a lot to see. So overall, it looks okay. It looks good. It looks different, which is never a bad thing. Different's never a bad thing. Well, it could be a bad thing. Oh, God. Different can be a very bad thing. But overall, let's say potential. Potential? Potential. All right. Let's move on to, so far, everything I've said is kind of good. Let's move on to kind of bad. So, Wonder Woman 1984. So, I have a few issues with the Wonder Woman movie. I've tried to break down a little of them, and mainly the thing that upsets me is they never break down her powers. And so, by not breaking, I know what people do this. By not breaking down a hero's powers, you're basically giving yourself the freedom to do whatever the fuck you want. But I'm the type of person that likes setting the rules. That's why I don't like Magic, because Magic doesn't really have any rules. You can do whatever you want, and the excuse is Magic. It really annoys me. I prefer rules. And if you saw the Shazam movie, Shazam, they spent like 20 minutes trying to figure out their powers, and it's hysterical. It's great. And then the audience knows, okay, this is the hero's powers, this is what he can do, these are the parameters, this is the enemy, and that's his range. It makes it scarier, it makes it not. So I prefer that. They didn't do that with Wonder Woman. They kind of just made stuff up on the fly. Like, I've complained about this to no end, but Wonder Woman can take a punch from Doomsday, who killed Superman, by the way, and who has like claw knuckles and stuff, and be perfectly fine. But she gets shot at in her arm and she starts bleeding. Also, she's poison proof. I don't know. It's weird. Like make up your mind. Let me know where her power is. Also, the bracer things that she had, she knocks them together and she makes a wave. Okay, I can understand that. Maybe like a seismic beam or something. Okay, and then all of a sudden at the end she hits them together and she can actually shoot lightning and direct it. What? That okay, I guess. So I had issues with the Wonder Woman movie, and I had a lot of issues. This one I have even more issues with the trailer. I think I figured out why Chris Pratt is there. I have a theory for it. I'm not going to be able to share it because, unfortunately, it would be a spoiler. It also, by the way, it would require them massively changing kind of the powers of a character that I think is in there. I'm not trying to go too deep into it, 'cause, again, this could be spoiler territory, and I think I figured out what the hell the plot's going to be. I'll save it. This is one of those things where I unfortunately won't be able to say I knew it. Or, I mean, I guess I can, but I won't prove it because it would be a major spoiler if I kind of tell you what it is, because it would kind of tell you how the movie's going to go. Or at least the storyline for that particular character is going to go. So I'm not going to touch it. So it bugs me that character's back, but I also love it because, honestly, Chris Pine was hysterical in the trailer. In all the trailers that I've seen, Chris Pine is hysterical, and that's kind of... Honestly, I would have loved if that's kind of they used Captain America a little bit more, like him trying to figure out the world. The parachute pants line is so stupid, it's genius. It's so stupid, it's genius. Now, how he learned how to fly a modern day jet, I don't know, but parachute pants, man, it's great. So there's some good and there's some bad. The bad is that it looks like the director. Well, I actually talked about this a few weeks ago. Patty Jenkins, the director, I believe that's her name, doesn't give a fuck about continuity for the rest of the DCCU. And she said that. Basically, she said, I do not give a fuck about continuity or creating a multiverse. And so this leaves kind of the DCCU in a really odd position. For example, if you guys remember, in Batman v Superman, there's only one image that proves that Wonder Woman is a part of this world, and that's the picture that she took in World War I. And she's actively trying very hard to make that picture disappear. And Lex Luthor had it. In 1984, it looks like she's doing some kind of pretty high-profile stuff. She's having a fight, I think, in the trailer. I think she looks like she's fighting inside the White House. I could be wrong. I've never been inside the White House, but it looks very familiar to a building that's to the White House from X-Men United, from X2 X-Men United. That's how I know how the White House looks inside. So, I'm pretty sure that in 1984 the White House had some kind of cameras in there. And if you're gonna have like a big epic fight in front of Secret Service or government agents, I'm pretty sure that there would have been some kind of reports about this. So, again, issues with Patty Jenkins being like, yeah, fuck all that stuff. I don't care about your continuity. I don't care that supposedly nobody knew about this chick since the World War I because of I would fuck up my movie and I want to make a movie of Wonder Woman in the 80s. All right. Okay, fair enough. All of that I can understand. I was going to say I could respect, but not really because it really bugs me. But here we come to where things get really stupid. And we're talking about the villain, Cheetah. So, this here is an image still, I believe, from the trailer. Do you guys remember how much fun they made of Cats that came out last year? Cats, the musical, live action one, and how terrible the cats looked. This looks just like that. Like Cheetah looks just like that. It looks really weird. She looks really weird. Weirder than scarier, and honestly, it's like I don't want to get into it that much. It's just let's just say it's bizarre. It's too much CGI. It looks fake. It like they're trying to make it too human, but also too animal. There's just the fight overall CGI. I'm not a big fan of like small characters fighting in CGI unless it's really well made. This one doesn't look like it's that well made. Also, she said a line that bugged me, and I know, again, I'm nitpicking, and it's because I'm a crazy person. But there's a line that Kristen Wiig says that I've always wanted to be in. I want to be an apex predator. Cheetahs are not apex predators, okay? They are not. Apex predator means that he has no natural predators. Lions eat cheetahs, all right? I think hyenas eat cheetahs, all right? Cheetahs are actually kind of wimps. Leopards can kill a cheetah. They're really fast, but they're not apex predators. Killer whales are apex predators. Silverback gorillas are apex. They're not predators. Do they? Are apex? Hippos, in their own way, are apex animals. Lions. So Siberian tigers. So her saying, it's just, I get it. It's a little thing, and it's because I'm a crazy person, but it bugged me, and I had to say it. Anyway, that was the bad. Let's move on to the good. Another good. And we got, finally, the first teaser trailer for Zack Snyder's The Justice League, and I have to start with this. I have to start with this because this is how the trailers start, and honestly, it was a great way for how the trailer started, and that's showing us Darkseid. So this is how Darkseid's gonna look. Honestly, better than Wolf. What was it? Wolfenstein? No, it wasn't Wolfenstein. That's how forgettable the freaking villain from the other one was. All right, Darkseid. We got Darkseid. Wolfenstein? No. It's Wolf something. This is gonna really bug me because he actually shows up in the trailer again. You know, the dude with the golden armor. That's him, but it's a different version of him because again, he doesn't look like that crappy with CGI. Doomsday actually looks. Not Doomsday. Darkseid actually looks pretty okay. He looks respectable. The CGI looks fine. When you put the other characters next to him, then we'll see actually how good it is or not. But we got a lot of confirmation of stuff for this movie. First off, it's confirmed that it's going to be 4 one-hour episodes, which honestly makes it better for me because every week we're gonna get something. You get something to look forward to. Hopefully they do a weekly release. I think that's how they're gonna do it, and I think that's how they're gonna get people hooked on the service, which is a fun idea. So we're gonna get 4 movies for the Justice League. They showed us a little bit of extra footage. We got Superman here with the black Superman suit. Honestly, after watching the teaser, I've had a theory about this movie about what it was supposed to be. Now I'm completely thrown off, honestly, because my theory kind of goes out the window with certain things that I saw. I guess I could do a longer breakdown about this in another episode because honestly it's a little bit late. But I don't want to do. You see, it's weird. I'm torn because I would love to do like a scene by scene, like a clip by clip breakdown of it. But at the same time, I don't like analyzing trailers that much because they contain a whole bunch of spoilers. So I'll see. I'll think about it. I'll consider it. But overall, I'm probably not gonna do it. I just know that it looked great. I thought that the song they picked was weird in the beginning, like Hallelujah. That was a really weird rendition of Hallelujah. But at the end, I loved it. It fit perfectly with the world. And Zack Snyder's really good with music. I'm a big fan of the music that he picks. Like I love the music for 300. It was Trent Reznor making it. I don't know who's doing music for this one. I'll look it up. But it dude good with music. I like his style. That's way more darker, way more comic booky. I like that the football game looked. It actually had the style of 300. So honestly, I'm excited for it now. I already said I'm gonna get HBO Max because just simply for Raised by Wolves for Ridley Scott. Now I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to DCCU finally getting its act together. Now, if I have to make a prediction, I think that the way that they're gonna fix it is with Flashpoint. Because right now everything's kind of a mess. It's kind of everywhere. With Flashpoint, they have an opportunity of kind of being like, oh, it's fixed because of this switch in the universe that I won't really get into because it could be a spoiler. And so it's kind of the way that they fixed the Arrowverse with Christ on Infinite Earth. And Wolfgang? It wasn't Wolfgang. That's not his name. It's not his name. Eric's trying to tell me it's Wolfgang. This is going to bug me. I'm going to have to look it up. Wolf Villain Justice League. Damn it. It's not. It's Steppenwolf. It's Steppenwolf, you idiot. Ah, that was gonna bug me. Honestly, that was really gonna bug me. So yeah, it was Steppenwolf. That was the villain for the first one, and Steppenwolf does make an appearance here in it very slightly. Like I said, the big dude with kind of like the golden horns. That's supposed to be Steppenwolf. Anyway, what the hell was I even saying? Oh yeah, so I already decided that I'm gonna get HBO Max. Now I'm looking forward to this. I'm looking forward to Raised by Wolves. So honestly, I'm looking forward to what DC's gonna make. They talked a lot about animated movies, animated TV shows. A listener kind of got me excited about watching Doom Patrol, and apparently it's on HBO Max. So it looks like I don't want to get too overly excited here, but I guess I will. It does look like DC is finally starting to get its act together. Now, what does that mean for the Suicide Squad? How is it going to mesh with Harley Quinn, Birds of Prey? Because Harley Quinn kind of ends not being in jail with Amanda Waller. There's still a lot of questions that need to be answered. And honestly, there's a lot of movies that need to be ignored. So just pretend that didn't happen. But we'll see. Honestly, it's the beauty of it being such a mess is that we get to see how they try to fix it. So I find that interesting. I hope you find it interesting as well. But that's it. That's a good place to stop for today. As always, any comments, questions, or suggestions, you can find me at Dario the Show on Instagram and at Super Dario World. Live streaming Monday through Friday. I'm aiming for like 7 p.m. Mondays, I'm usually doing 9 p.m. But yeah, feel free to join me. It's if you have any questions or anything in the chat afterwards at the end, I guess I may answer them or not, because sometimes I just get out of here. But as always, thank you for listening, and I'll see you again next time.